Okay, this seems to be the most asked question to me as of late, and that's, will I upgrade to the new Panasonic GH7? And the honest answer is, I'm not totally sure yet. I haven't pre-ordered it as of yet, and I'm still a little bit undecided. Do I want it right now? Yes, but I always like to wait for the hype to die down on a camera announcement. And I'd never buy a camera off the back of watching a YouTube video or an announcement trailer. And I can kind of see that Panasonic's been very tactical with who is marketing this iteration of the camera. And people that remember the GH6 release will know what I mean by that. And, kind of, does it look like a good upgrade to what's currently there? Yeah, I mean, it's the best Micro Four Thirds mirrorless around. There's sort of no doubt in that. But for me, when I'm buying a new piece of camera gear, it's got to make financial sense. I'm not being loaned out any of this gear from Panasonic, and most technology products that you buy, they're effectively a loss maker. So, new products come out all the time and they'll devalue the product that you own, and it's being bought with my own money. So it needs to make financial sense for my business. And if you don't know my background, essentially I'm a freelancer who does a mix of online marketing for businesses, including video, photography and web projects, mostly direct to client. And I actually used to work for a publisher back in the days of DVD authoring, and I freelanced for them doing camera reviews for magazines and websites that they used to publish. And since then I've worked for multiple digital agencies and just sort of ended up as a freelancer. So I only really buy cameras for work and a bit of personal use, and not to make content around. YouTube's not my main income, and to be honest, it's not really much of an income at all, as I don't have sponsorships and I don't sell paid courses. I make a tiny bit of money through AdSense and affiliate links, but not enough to buy gear with the intention to make videos around it. I just make videos in my own time, and it's largely driven by the community who watch them and engage with them. And I'm very grateful to the people that have supported this channel through super thanks, buy me a coffee and memberships. And I use that small amount of income to pay myself billable hours to create more content, which is usually led by requests. So I'm generally not buying camera gear just for personal use, and I need to make a return on it. I also don't just see a new camera as an investment of money. It's an investment of my time, learning new features and getting into sort of the practical testing. And if you watch this channel, you'll know I like to get deep into the camera features, and that takes quite a lot of my time. And every use case is also different. So what might be right for my workflow might not be right for yours. Like, is the GH7 the newest, shiniest MFT camera on offer right now? Yeah, but do you need it? Possibly not. I bought the GH6 only 2 years ago, and it's still a great camera. I just finished a shoot with it this week, and I'm really happy with the footage that came out of it. I would be swapping out my GH5 for the GH7, and then that comes down to how often I'm using a B cam. So don't be led by what others are saying in videos or comments. If somebody says the camera you have is bad or outdated, that's not true. It's, if you listen to all those comments, then all the DFD AF cameras would be thrown in the bin. But in reality, there's still people out there making incredible photo and video content with them, and buying a new camera isn't going to make you a better creator or more productive. My advice is that if you're not struggling with the current camera you have, then you probably don't need to upgrade just yet. I would take a step back, look at how often you're shooting with your current camera, what hurdles you face when you're creating content, and whether this new camera will solve any of those problems for you. I mean, my thoughts right now are would probably rather wait for some incentive deals. I mean, if we take a quick look on Wex, we're looking at, and I'm just using this as a guide, because all the prices are the same throughout it. You might not be able to order in your country from Wex, but it's just an example. So essentially, the GH7 is the same everywhere in the UK anyway. You're looking at essentially £2,000. So that's the same as the GH6 was released at. But when the GH6 was released, I had quite a lot of good incentive deals. So like, I got a 5-year warranty on mine, which has still got a few years left on it, or a couple of years left on it. I got a CF Express card with mine as well. So, there was some pretty good incentive deals that came along with that. And whereas this is just Body only, obviously you're not getting a lens with that. It's just sort of 2,000 flat. So that is quite a lot. So, you know, I think I could quite happily just wait for some kind of incentive deals to come along, because I feel like right now this is almost a little bit disproportionate to what else is on the market. I mean, let's take the G9 Mark II, for example. So this is the, I guess like the flagship G series camera, not GH series camera. And, you know, that's come down a little bit, not massive, sort of £200 saving on it. So there is a little bit of a reduction there, but also it's £200 less, but it's not a body only deal. It comes with the 12 to 60 f3.5 to 5.6 lens, which I'll be honest, I've not used that kit lens. I've got the Leica version of it, which is really good. I really like that lens. So I would imagine this is probably a half decent lens to shoot with, you know, especially if you're kind of like a starter coming to Micro Four Thirds. So yeah, there's a lot more you're getting here. And I know this camera's been out for a little while. You know, it's not an old camera by any means, but it's not, you know, it's not a pre-release camera or brand new, but it's yeah, it's certainly not that old. So I'd kind of be willing to wait a little bit longer for those incentive deals. And the main thing I find slightly disproportionate here is if you look to full frame, which obviously you're not going to if you've got tons of MFT glass that you're not willing to sell or part with, but you know, you can get the S5 II, not the S5 IIX, just the S5 II, but you know, we're still looking at slightly less money, only £70, not a lot, I get that. But, you know, you've got a full frame camera body, and you're looking at two lenses. It's got the 20 to 60 and the 50mm prime as well. So it seems like, to me, that seems a little bit disproportionate at the moment. And I understand that, you know, that the price is the same as the GH6, and potentially it could have even gone up slightly, because since then, you know, a couple of years, things do increase a little, and there's been chip shortages and all kinds of like issues with camera supply. But it's yeah, I think for me it's one of those things. I'm probably just going to wait a little while, wait for the price to come down, wait for all the hype to die down a little bit, and then, you know, I'll see where I'm at then. But right now I'm still kind of very happy with the cameras that I've got, and they do the job I need them to do, so I don't need to rush out and buy kind of the latest camera. But I'd be interested to know sort of where everyone's kind of sat with this, if they've pre-ordered the GH7, if they're looking to get rid of like a GH6 or GH5 or whatever it may be, or if they've seen the release of the GH7 and then actually they've gone to the sort of the G9 Mark II. It's yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't know, maybe you've jumped up from Micro Four Thirds to full frame and sort of jumped into the S series of cameras, like the new S5 Mark II or the Mark IIX. But yeah, just sort of let me know in the comments what you've kind of done and what your kind of reaction to this release has been.